didn't notice 85 until I started counting the things I'd lost. Not my keys, not my phone, the big things, my mother's voice, the smell of rain on asphalt, the way my grandmother's hands felt when she held my face. I was 35 years old, and I had already forgotten 85% of my childhood. That was the number the therapist gave me. 85%. She said it was normal, that the brain prunes memories to make room for new ones. She said not to worry. I worried anyway. The worst started the dreams. Not about memories, about a room, a white room. In the center of the room, a filing cabinet. Metal, gray. The drawers were labeled with years. 1985, 1995, 2005. I opened the 1985 drawer. It was empty. I opened 1995. Empty. I opened every drawer. All empty. Except one, the bottom drawer. It was labeled with a number, not a year. 85. I opened it. Inside was a single photograph. A photograph of me, but not me. A version of me I'd never seen. Older, thinner. Her eyes were empty. Not closed. Empty. Like someone had scooped out everything that made her human and left only the shell. On the back of the photograph, written in pencil, 85%, you're almost there. I woke up gasping. My heart was pounding. 85 beats per minute. I counted. 85, 85, 85. I went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror. My eyes were normal, brown, tired, but behind them I could feel something. A hollow, a space where memories used to be. I started writing things down, everything. My mother's birthday, my first kiss, the name of my childhood dog. I filled notebooks, journals, sticky notes on the wall. I was afraid that if I didn't write it down, it would disappear. The therapist said it was a coping mechanism. She said I was fine. I wasn't fine. The number 85 followed me. On the clock at 8:05. On the temperature at 85 degrees. On the price tag of a jacket I didn't buy. But worse than the number was the feeling. The feeling that I was forgetting something important. Something I needed to remember. Something that was right there, on the tip of my tongue, in the corner of my eye, just out of reach. On the 85th day of my journaling, I found the key. It was in an old shoebox in my closet. The box was labeled 85 in marker. I didn't remember putting it there. I opened the box. Inside was a key, brass, old. The bow was shaped like the number 85. I held it in my palm. It was warm. It pulsed. I walked through my apartment, trying the key in every lock. Front door, back door, desk drawer, jewelry box. None of them fit. I was about to give up when I saw the door. It was in my bedroom. A door I'd never noticed. Between the closet and the window. Small white, a brass keyhole. I knelt down. The key slid in, turned. The door opened. Behind it was not a room. It was a hallway. Long, narrow. The walls were covered in photographs, thousands of them. At every age, baby, toddler, teenager, adult. But the photographs were wrong. My eyes were empty in every single one. Not closed, empty. Like the person in the photograph had already forgotten everything. Like they were just waiting for the memories to drain out. I walked down the hallway. The photographs rustled as I passed. The faces turned to follow me. Their empty eyes tracked my movements. At the end of the hallway, another door. Same white, same brass keyhole. I used the key. The door opened. Behind it was a room. The room from my dream. The filing cabinet, gray metal. The drawers were still labeled with years. 1995. 2005. I opened them, still empty. But the bottom drawer was different. It was labeled 85. And it was open. Inside was not a photograph. It was a box, small, wooden. On the lid, carved the number 85. I opened the box. Inside was a memory, not a photograph, not a letter, a feeling. The feeling of my mother's arms around me when I was 5 years old and scared of the dark. The feeling of my father's laugh when I told a stupid joke. The feeling of my grandmother's hands on my face. They flooded into me, overwhelmed me. I fell to my knees. I was crying, not from sadness, from relief. The memories weren't gone. They were here, in this box, in this room, in this number. A voice spoke, not from the room, from the box, from the memory itself. 85%, it said. That's how much of yourself you've given away. Not lost, given. Every time you forgot something, you didn't lose it, you stored it. Here, in this cabinet, in this room, in this number. You've been saving your memories for 85 days, 85 weeks, 85 years. Not this life, the ones before. You've been doing this forever, saving pieces of yourself, and now you have to decide. Take them back, or leave them here. If you take them back, you'll remember everything. The good, the bad, the unbearable. If you leave them here, you'll forget everything. Even the forgetting, you'll be empty, like the photographs, like the eyes, just a shell, waiting for the next version of yourself to start the cycle again. I looked at the box. The memories were warm. They were mine. I wanted them, all of them. But I was afraid of the pain, the grief, the regret, the unbearable weight of a lifetime of forgetting. I can't, I whispered. The voice was gentle, patient. You can, you've done it before, 85 times before. Each time you've taken the memories. Each time you've been overwhelmed. Each time you've wished you hadn't. But each time you've grown. Each time you've become more, not less. The forgetting is not a loss, it's a harvest. You plant the memories, you let them grow. Then you store them here, in this room, in this number. And when you're ready, you reclaim them, and you become whole. I reached into the box. The memories were not objects, they were sensations. I felt my mother's hug, my father's laugh, my grandmother's hands, then more, older memories, from before I was born, from before I was human, from before I was anything. Memories of light, memories of darkness, memories of the space between. I took them all, every single one. The box was empty, I was full, so full I thought I would burst. I closed my eyes. When I opened them, I was in my bedroom. The door was gone, the key was gone, the box was gone, but the memories were there, in my head, in my heart, in the spaces between my thoughts. I remembered voice, the smell of rain, the way my grandmother's hands felt when she held my face. I also remembered other things I had chosen to forget, the pain of loss, the sting of betrayal, the weight of grief. It was unbearable, but it was mine, all of it, the good and the bad, the light and the dark, the memories I had stored for 85 lifetimes. I sat on my bed and cried, not from sadness, from relief, from wholeness. I was no longer 85% empty. I was 100% full. That was a year ago. I still see the number 85 sometimes, on clocks, on receipts, in the corners of my eyes, but it doesn't scare me anymore. It reminds me that I am not a vessel. I am an archive, a collection of every moment I've ever lived, every feeling I've ever felt, every person I've ever loved. The filing cabinet is still there, in the room behind the door. But it's not empty anymore, it's full of new memories. Memories I'm making now. Memories I'll store for the next version of myself. The one who will find the key. The one who will open the door. The one who will need to remember. 85, it's not a number. It's a percentage. A measure of how much of yourself you've given away. But you can always take it back. The memories are never gone. They're just waiting. In a box. In a room. In a number. Check your own filing cabinet. Not with your hands, with your heart. What have you forgotten? What have you stored? What are you waiting to remember? The key is in your hand. You've always had it. You just didn't know. 85. Turn the lock. Open the door. The memories are warm. They're yours. Take them back. Become whole. I'll meet you in the room. I'll be the one with the full eyes. The one who remembered 85. It's not the end. It's the harvest. And the harvest is abundant.